So this is your Click Contracts dashboard. Once you log in as an agent, you'll be able to access all of the envelopes that you've created. You can also do a search for your envelopes or filter through envelopes as well. The main thing that you'll be using is the Create Envelopes button here on the left panel. If you click this, it'll bring you into all of the envelopes that you can create, which include custom documents, meaning you can upload any of your own documents and add signatures to sign. Or we've got the buyer agreements documents. We also have amendments, counteroffers, addendums, closing worksheets, and a bunch of listing agreements as well. If you run into any issues or need support, the fastest way to get help is by clicking the button here at the bottom right corner, which will pull up the chat screen and you're able to type in a message and we'll be able to get back to you pretty quickly. In order to create a buyer offer, you're going to want to click the Create button and then click the Buyer Offer button. On the left side navigation, you can see that we've created 5 different sections for the buyer offer. The first section is People. At the top left corner, you can see the number of required fields remaining for each section. If you click this button, it highlights all of the fields that are required for each section. The next section is MLS integration. All you need to do is add an address or an MLS ID number, and that will pull in information for the buyer offer. The next section is terms. In this section, we've broken down terms of the buyer offer into 6 different subsections. With MLS integration and presets, approximately 75% of your offer will be completed. As an agent, review each section and make sure you complete any required fields and check all presets to ensure that they are accurate for your offer. You'll also notice there's a little swirly icon to the right of each field. This means that this field was pulled from MLS. You're able to override those fields if you need to. Next, I'm uploading the seller's disclosure. And moving on to the next section, you can see there's more MLS integrated fields. I'm going to check no for that section. And I'm going to upload a lead-based paint disclosure. Moving on to the next section is the transaction terms. So these are the actual terms of the offer. I'm going to put $325 for the sale price. You can see here the list price was pulled in from MLS just as a reference. Now I'm going to do closing date. Personal property is pulled from the appliances section in Northstar MLS. You can also add to this section if needed to as well. I'm going to select immediate closing. If you do any other options, Click is smart enough to pull in the correct documents that are needed. So once again, there are a bunch of presets that the owner account has set for this. I'm going to do not subject to the sale of another purchase agreement. And we're going to add the escalation clause so that you can see what type of language is built into Click Contracts. Next is the financing section. We'll do an FHA with a 3.5% down and upload a pre-approval letter. This is optional, of course. We'll say yes to a first mortgage, and we will do refund to buyer for financing contingency. We'll do zero for work orders, and buyer will pay, and we'll select none for the appraisal. What happens with the appraisal? The next section is inspection warranty. We will make this a part of the contract with a 3-day inspection, and we'll do a pass-fail inspection as well. And the final section is the additional clauses and files. So this is where you can add any additional information to your purchase agreement. You can also upload a Dear Seller letter if you need to, and any additional documents, and choose where you want that document added. So a good example of this is a listing cover sheet. A lot of times we'll add this as a part of the purchase agreement. The fourth section is the review and edit. So basically with all of the terms that you had put into the previous section, it pulls everything into the actual contracts. So this is where you're going to want to review everything, check to see if there are any signatures that need to be moved for whatever reason, but everything should look great at this point. This is the listing cover sheet that we had uploaded. With this, you can add text if you need to. You can make it a read only as well. So you can add the address like I'm doing here. And then in addition to that too, you can also add any tags that you need, whether it's signatures, date signed, you know, an email tag or check boxes. You can add that at this point. You can also jump to each document as well on the left panel there if you need to. And then of course you're going to want to finish reviewing all of your contract documents, making sure that everything looks great. This is just an example of a pass-fail inspection language. It gets moved to the correct location in the purchase agreement if it fits. And information also gets added to the end of the purchase agreement as well. So that's the escalation clause that we had added. And once you're done reviewing everything, you can sign the contract now as an agent. You can see that there are 6 required items for me as an agent to sign, and I can choose whichever font I want for my signature and click sign. And so now I'm starting to sign the 6 signatures that I have. So I'm just going to click and sign. Once I've completed signing on my behalf, it will immediately send to the buyers to sign. My buyer will immediately receive an email to sign, and it breaks down the terms of the offer. There will be a sign button, and in addition to that too, it'll have my contact information as well. So once my buyer clicks and signs, they are able to choose their own signature and go through the same process. Also, I'd like to add that if your client does respond to that email with the signing link, it will automatically go back to you as the agent. So now you can see here that my buyer has 17 signatures, and so we're gonna sign each one. This is important because this is the arbitration question, so your buyer can choose whether to accept or decline arbitration. And once they're done signing, they'll see your contact information and your headshot. My buyer will receive an email with the contracts they signed in a professional email that was auto-generated from me as their agent. Jumping into my inbox as an agent, I will receive the email with the signed contracts as well. And in addition to that, I'll receive a template that I can send to the listing agent with all of the terms of the offer and a link to the purchase agreement. So all I need to do is copy and paste this into an email and click send. And it's as easy as that. As an agent, you can log onto your dashboard and click the envelope details to see the status of the signing as well. Thanks for watching our video on how to write a buyer offer with Click Contracts.